The last Terran standing, and he is up one game already. He wants to go to the A final, starting to the bottom right at the WCS Korea. We have the Terran player for Team TSL. It is
TSL Polt.
Polt, man, up one game. He's only one game away from that Asia Finals. His opponent in the blue, representing Zerg and Slayers up at the top left. His ID is not Golem, but in fact, it is
Slayers, Miya.
Come on out, player intro. We don't bite.
You don't know that.
Can't have enough creep spread from Sweden. I wonder if the creep spread allowed him to get here faster.
Well, I would think so.
I hope so. If he's a Zerg unit, as long as he's not a drone.
The thing about Polt, of course, is that it's just such a funny story. Polt was at university, one of the most prestigious universities in Seoul. He was studying, and then he decided to actually go for a break because he wanted to be a pro gamer. His parents not too happy with this decision at first, but then their son was doing better and better, was training hard, and actually achieved what only few Koreans were able to achieve at this point, winning tournaments in, well, just abroad, in Europe, in the US. He was at every single tournament for quite a while and just had a lot of great success, a lot of tournament wins as well. And then when his parents suddenly realized that he is really successful with his choice, they were a little bit more comfortable with his decision, and he decided to actually add another year of pro gaming. Yeah, so pretty cool story here.
Exactly. Polt is a very intelligent guy, a lot of skills, economically, academically. And, you know, his choice here is to live the dream, and he's doing it. What he's also doing is going command center after barracks, just like in game number 1. His opponent with same hatchery timing, and Polt's going to see. So far, this game is actually stacking up to be exactly the same way as it was last game so far.
The thing is that Miya, in the last game, it looked like a straightforward win for Polt. It shows a strategy that we've seen occasionally from him, but usually it's more his style to just play a little bit more passive and go for this safer macro game. But Miya was playing really well. It just looked like a really straightforward win for Polt, but in fact only a few seconds were missing for Miya to turn things around and to make sure that Polt's attack is a failure. At this point though, we have Polt ahead with 1-0, and Miya now has to really come to terms with this, has to think about what he's going to do on Ohana. And map number 3, if Miya is able to turn things around here and forces a third game, it's going to be an Entombed Valley, of course.
Yeah, and Entombed Valley is obviously a map that we'll talk quite a bit about later, but Polt, fast third command center, no gases just out, he's adding them now, but this is a differentiation in builds quite significantly.
What I really love is that Polt is so actively searching for the Overlord. On the other hand, I have to say that Miya's positioning is really great here. This is one of the things that always happens in Terran versus Zerg. If you have a new map, every single time a new map enters the map pool, the most Zerg players try first of all to find out where exactly to position their Overlords, and then the Terran players are trying to intercept them to make sure that the Zerg player is in an early disadvantage. But Miya here with a very nice positioning for Overlord number 1, and he waits a long time. Later on he will probably just move it to the bottom right. So this is actually a great decision by Miya. He does not lose the Overlord, and if he would have tried to get into position at the main base, Polt would have scouted it and would have taken it down. So both players here with a very cautious and a very aware early game.
Yeah, you're right, and Polt's going to do what he did last game as well with his Marines. He doesn't actually want to fight these Queens, but he wants to deny the tumors from going down, which is what he did last game. And when the Marines are spotted like this, he sees them now at the natural exactly where they are. Now he knows probably, okay, I can move my Overlord to the right pretty soon because I know that he doesn't have any Marines over there to kill it. And that's exactly what we did last game. So far, though, Miya not budging with the Overlord. Polt continues to deny the drone at the third base and also the creep tumors. This is very annoying and frustrating for Miya, who once again is getting a slightly quicker gas and start speed. His drone count going up to 43 here, though, so he's not going to be hitting that super fast Baneling Roach aggression.
Exactly. If you go for Baneling Roaches, what you usually want to do is you wait until you have 36 harvesters and then you start pulling it off. But Miya, on the other hand, has still the he can still be a little bit aggressive. But the Baneling Nest that he's currently building is most likely going to be more of a defensive measure against whatever Polt is trying to throw his way, especially with the third base now coming up for our Slayer Zerg. Polt, on the other hand, is not only getting 2 additional barracks, but he is going for double engineering bay very early in the game and will start his double upgrades, therefore.
Yeah, I feel Polt is definitely planning for the late game on this one. You know, Polt, I always joke he does not take a 4th base unless he's lifting his main command center to a 4th base location, but He really knows how to put aggression on 3 bases very well with 3-3. He knows how to use his Marines. And I mean, we're watching it right now. He actually just killed a tumor. And that's pretty significant.
I love how he's using 3 Marines. I mean, this is like nothing. Even if they are killed, that's 150 minerals, and you're definitely fine with that.
Yeah.
He has Hellions, he has Marines, and he's just trying to kill these creep tumors. It's so hard for Terran these days, after the changes that we had in the recent patch, to actually kill the creep tumors and to make sure that the Zerg player is not getting completely out of control with this. But Polt is doing this with a very nice strategy, and I really like how he's executing it.
Yeah, you know, as long as you force Lings to kill your Marines early on in the game, that's less drones as well. So, I mean, it's kind of a win-win situation for Polt no matter what. A lot of Lings have been made, by the way, 42 in fact. So, Miya looks like he wants to put on some pressure here with just Lings alone. Okay, and now the Banelings are being morphed.
Exactly, he has so many that he definitely wants to go for some aggression here. And the problem for Polt is that he doesn't have siege tanks. He's going straight for the starport here. This might hurt a lot.
Yeah, this could hurt a lot because he has no idea this is coming. The Hellions were pushed back, so he did not see. There's 2 groups of Lings, and he's going to get his first glimpse. No, he doesn't see.
Oh, wow.
He has no idea. The depots are not even raised, and he's attacking the rocks.
He will
oh, my God.
He will be supply blocked if the depots die, and indeed they do. Polt is heavily supply blocked. The Zerglings are in the base now. The Hellions have to move back, but they are occupied in the middle at the Zalnaga watchtower, and there is so much that just dies. Those Banelings are heading straight for the SCVs, taking them down one by one, and the Zerglings are still going at it. 12 SCVs already killed, 13 now. Miya is on the move.
Yeah, and Miya droned up heavily behind this. This is not an all-in at all, not even close. He's 64 to 35 Harvesters right now.
Against 35 SCVs, and he...
Now, this is a great move by him. He actually started the Harvesters as his Banelings were morphing. He had planned the entire time to just transition out of this.
And at the same time, as soon as Miya started to attack, he moved with his Queens immediately to spread his creep. He knew exactly that Polt had to rally all his forces back to his base in order to defend. Polt, of course, with all those SCVs that he just lost, is in an uncomfortable position, but he has the 3rd orbital.
Yeah.
So he has the energy for all the mules that he can use right now to make sure that he still has a decent mineral income.
He also did not lose very much army in this situation. He actually was able to pull his army up the ramp. Miya decided to go for SCVs with his Banelings instead, so he actually has an army to still move around on the map with, but it's not a comfortable position for Miya necessarily in that regard. He's going to actually have to make sure to have enough units to defend a counter push that Polt may decide to go for.
Resources lost, by the way, for both players are roughly the same. It's very, very close because Miya, of course, invested a lot into these Banelings. And look at the creeps on the minimap. Those Hellions need to be careful. Of course, they can take down a queen here. Oh no, the Transfuse hits too soon. But now we have Miya with Roaches. Going a little bit of Jadong style here.
Yeah, he really is. Making quite a few Roaches just to be safe. More Banelings being morphed. This is exactly what Polt wants to force here. He wants to punish his opponent for, you know, trading so many army units for SCVs, and he's moving out, taking out some tumors now. Combat shields are almost done, but they're not quite ready yet. And without combat shields, I'm not sure how much he wants to actually commit against the army of his opponent right now.
We have +1/+1 nearly done for Miya, only a few seconds away, but he has to attack now, and he's moving in, trying to connect with the Marines. The Banelings are on the move, but well played by Polt here. Nice micro so far. The Marine split is good. He's able to take down a lot of these Banelings, not losing too many of the Marines, and the 2 Medivacs in position to save the day.
Look at Miya's creep spread. As soon as the units are picked up, he drops a ton of tumors. And right now, Miya's getting Hive. He's got the 4th base finishing up. He's got so many workers, in total 72 to 48 right now, even with the mules. Miya is feeling pretty happy right now.
He's on 4 bases. He's just building the 4th, getting additional workers, and he is ahead in tech of his opponent. The overall supply, of course, also in his favor. And the first Infestor is about to join the match, and then he can make sure that additional attacks from a Polt are countered by funnels, basically. Of course, he also has something against the Medivacs with Infested Marines.
Yeah. And he's actually just going to go for an attack at the 3rd base, it seems. All the units are in Medivacs. If he loads them out, he's just going to attack them. This is such an awkward position for Polt. He's like, well, I got to defend here. I got to get these units out. And now he's got siege mode. Miya backs up. He knows he's got the Infestors to fall back to. Spire is already on the way. Of course, that's going to be for Broodlords.
Polt's original plan, of course, with a nice drop here at the 4th, by the way. Polt's original plan centered around having a heavily upgraded Marine force.
Oh, bungle!
But with the attack that we saw from Miya, Polt was not able to hit +2/+2 immediately. Now he started it, but Miya is already on the same upgrade. He's actually a little bit ahead with his upgrades. So at this point, the fungal for Miya is good. That's exactly what we mentioned earlier. With Infestors, now he can work against these drops a lot better, but Polt's still making it work, taking down a few Harvesters here.
Yeah, forcing the Harvesters off the line as well. And Polt is just being as annoying as he could be with 2 Marines and a medevac. He's still pushing the creep forward in the middle of the map as well, but Miya continues to spread that. This is pretty back and forth, despite the fact that Miya takes an advantage. Polt has caught up in the Harvester count, 60 to 77 now.
But we have Hive ready for Miya, who also has the Spire, and now it's been upgraded to the Greater Spire. Of course, Adrenal Glands being started here as well. I really like it. A lot of Zerg players these days will still forget about the upgrade in the heat of the battle, but not Miya.
Yeah, and Polt's going triple factory here, and that's great for investors. It's great to bolster your Siege Tank count, but with the fast Broodlords coming out here, he's going to need more Starports and more Vikings, and he's going to want to spend his gas on that instead. The Siege Tanks are not going to be as useful. This push, though, is still pretty scary. Polt about to finish 2-2. And he is pushing the Lings back. He needs to get good fungals to hold this off before his Broodlords are out.
The army supply is even, and Polt indeed has a very scary force on the map. He wants to hit this 4th base, and it's moving on. Whereas we have 109 Zerglings now for Miya. He's on the move. He has
oh my God,
only a few Infestors.
He just lost 3 of them right now. He's going to lose a 4th one potentially here. Polt took him out with Siege Tanks. There is a counterattack, though. Polt needs to siege up and get ready to defend down there.
Oh, he's supply blocked, and he will lose more supply depots if he's not careful. Now the Zerglings are in the mineral line, and the Banelings! They take them down. Boom.
Yep. And Polt he's got an awkward position at his 3rd, but he is continuing the attack. The Broodlords are not ready.
The Queen, the one last unit that actually doesn't pull back, and the poor Queen gets all the shots of the Siege Tanks. Just explodes.
Poor Queen, man. Queen's not armored, takes a few extra shots to take out. Miya going for another counterattack. I think he's basically agreed to allow Polt to take out his 4th base while he goes for more counterattacks in the main, because now Polt is in the right position. He just needs more time for the Broodlords, and that's what he wants to buy. The wall has not been remade, and the tanks were on siege!
The tanks on siege, and they all die. There are no Vikings, not a single one, and Miya is going to be ready with the Broodlords in just a few seconds. The first 3 are ready, 2 additional ones are being morphed. And with the
killing the depots too, so Polt is really struggling to produce units in general right now.
Just with the fungals that we have, 6 Infestors, he can make sure that those Marines are not going to be an issue.
Yeah, exactly. The tank count being severely reduced by that Ling run by. Polt still not really mining at his 3rd base. He's really struggling to produce units, not because his macro is bad, but because he has to make so many depots at once.
Yeah, he is still supply blocked. This is a huge deal for him right now. 4 additional ones are being built, and just look at Miya. He still has all these Zerglings to back up his Infestors and, of course, the Broodlords. He's establishing the 4th once again, and just his composition is so much better now.
His economy is doubling that of Polt's right now in income, and of course when the mules drop, that changes things for a few seconds, but Polt even banked up resources because he had such a supply block. He's still supply block currently at 145 out of 145. No depots in production. He really, really needs to get this set up because Miya is not stopping the aggression. Comes into the 3rd base one more time. He's going to pick off a small army of Polt here. Forces Polt to turn around again. Meanwhile, he's getting his +3 for his Lings. Getting the Carapace for his Flyers. The 4th base, as you mentioned, is already up here.
He did not see the Broodlords, did he? Not once. He doesn't react at all.
He has not. And even if he knew, it's such a tough position for him. He's got the gas, but he doesn't have the minerals. He needs a lot more money to make that Viking switch.
And at this point in time, Banelings now detonating. Polt still with a decent Marine split, but now he's up against the Broodlords. Polt is looking at the 4th once more, but he needs the Vikings, and here they are. The first 2 are being built while Polt is expanding again, getting double command center here. But dealing with the Broodlords is his biggest concern now.
Yeah, it really is a big concern. He knows the army of Miya is a little bit smaller right now. He's thrown several forces at Polt repeatedly, so now Polt's kind of thinking, all right, I'm going to turtle a little bit. I'm going to get these bases up so then I can get the Vikings out there, and you need to build the proper composition. And meanwhile, he's going for multi-pronged attacks. He's sending drops to the left side. He's moving across at that Ohana position where you siege at the bottom of the ramp and then send Marines in to try to target down the hatchery. That's exactly what he's going for over here. Forces Miya in one direction while his drops go in the other.
And Polt, on the other hand, is not committing to this attack at the right side of the map. He knows exactly that against the Broodlords, he doesn't stand a chance with this composition. But the job, that's what he really wants to pull off, and it's in position already. He wants to go into the main base right now. So very positional play by Polt here. Now Miya is able to spot it with an Overlord. The Zergling still forcing Polt's army back, but here comes the job.
Yep.
The Infestor is ready, though.
Infestor is ready, but can he actually stop this many units? Even a siege tank in the mix. Polt breaks through, and this actually forces Miya's entire army, including his Broodlords, back. And this allows Polt to take a 4th base.
Double Starport coming up and double Thor now. Polt knows what's coming and he wants to prepare as fast as possible. Zerglings once again at his third base though, taking down the SCVs. He needs to defend here. This game is just going insane. Drops happening everywhere, small run-bys, and now the main base of Miya has been secured again. But this game, they don't stop. These players don't stop, and Miya now with the aggression, he wants to end this.
Yeah, he does. There are only 6 Vikings out right now. The Corruptor count at 15. He's going to need good Thor shots here, but even with those, this is going to be so hard with the Infestors all at full energy. No ghosts, no way to deal with those Infestors. As long as he doesn't get hit by Siege Tank fire,
God.
how can Polt defend?
Their fungals are good, and here they come, the Vikings against the Corruptors. The Broodlords are going to be attacked, of course, and they are having a huge problem here, and it's called Broodlord fire. Broodlings are everywhere, and the first Thor, it dies. The second one will follow in a few seconds, and Polt is now down to 100 supply against 200.
His Thors are gone, his Vikings are gone. Now the Medivacs are under attack by Corruptors. Polt drops below 100 supply, and Miya does not stop the attack. He is maxed. He has shut down all the drops. Another wave of Lings come in, and I think he's going to tie up this series. There may be a reason why Polt did not want to play against him in the late game on Antigua. He may be scared of this crazy Miya Zerg that we're watching right now.
Fungals are everywhere.
GG!
As Polt